It sounds like you are still going to cover ISIS, even though, as you said, it doesn't have an address. Is that your beat, or are you following, going to other war zones? And also, have you been following, had a very compelling report on the Yazidi women.
Yes.
And I was wondering if, in the time that's passed since you created the podcast, if there's been success in finding a way to healing for them.
Thank you for that question. So yes, I'm still covering ISIS, but I don't know if you've noticed, I'm almost 9 months pregnant. So speaking of which, I went to Syria when I was 6.5 months pregnant, expecting that village to fall in a couple of days, and I was there until I was 7.5 months pregnant, and my husband and my doctor were screaming at me to come home. But anyway, I'm about to go on parental leave, as of now, I'm still covering ISIS. I'm going to see where we are, when we come back. My editor has asked me to start looking at white extremism. So that's a potential. Regarding the Yazidis, it's really, really a sad situation. There were about 3,000 that are still missing. These are women, children, and men. The Yazidis created a very complete list of their family members who were taken. And there was a lot of hope that they would be found in Baghouz, in this last place. And a couple dozen were found. I mean, some of the Yazidi girls that were just recovered included a 21-year-old girl who was 16 when she was taken, and who was actually Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi's slave. I knew about her. I had heard about her. I couldn't believe that she was still alive. So there have been some miracles, if you will. But a couple dozen versus 3,000 is not a very positive number. So there are a lot of families that are mourning now, and the assumption is that if they weren't found there, then we don't know where they are. What's even more difficult is that whereas in most of the areas that was controlled by ISIS, including Raqqa, including Mosul, which were heavily destroyed, you see that people end up coming back. Even among the rubble, they somehow go in, and with the little reconstruction money that they have or personal finances, they start to build up their areas again. That hasn't happened in Sinjar, which is the ancestral home of the Yazidi people, and that hasn't happened there because of a political issue between Kurdistan and the Iraqi government. The road going in has been blocked. Yazidis have been prevented from going there. So essentially, this ancient people who practice a religion that predates both Christianity and Islam are essentially homeless. They're living in tents. Many of them have gotten visas to go elsewhere. They're coming to Nebraska in the US, to Germany, to Australia. But there is fear that this community is on its way out. And that's a very sad thing.